Public schools, and the snow has arrived and is just about to start accumulating. But a big question, Sam Ojiri is here now. Where is it accumulating? How much snow are we talking about? And how is this going to impact our morning commute tomorrow?
Reagan, well, early tomorrow morning, it's going to be a mess out there. And some people are already saying it's starting to get messy. We have snow beginning to accumulate on the north shore of Long Island, especially points north and west. Already about 2 inches of snow over by Morrisville, New Jersey. If you see this dark shade of blue, central New Jersey, that's heavier snow tracking towards New York City. So we've had the snow for the past few hours, but with the milder temperatures today, it's been taking a while for it to add up. It will begin to do so as our storm is cranking up, and this is a potent storm. So that precip extends all the way back off to the south and west in the Virginias, tracking in our direction, and we will have periods of heavy snow overnight tonight. Right now, we are just at or above the freezing mark. Temperatures near 32, 33 degrees. With the colder air coming in tonight, the snow will accumulate on average 3 to 6 inches. The higher amounts will be north of New York City, less along the coast. We'll have more details in just a few minutes. Reagan.
All right, Sam, looking forward to it. Mayor Bill de Blasio giving an update on the snowstorm hitting our area. He's asking New Yorkers stay off the road so the plows can get to work ahead of tomorrow morning's rush.
We're going to have very messy conditions, slippery conditions, dangerous conditions. We want to keep people off the streets to allow the sanitation department to do the work that they do.
The mayor says nearly 700 salt spreaders and 1,600 plows are at the ready to clear the streets of snow and of ice. Governor Andrew Cuomo is saying New York State also ready for the snow when it arrives, mainly due to several conference calls, the meetings, and lots of planning.
To be prepared. We've learned the hard way that the only way to deal with a situation like this is to be prepared. If you're not prepared before, it is too late when you try to scramble in the middle of a storm and move people and move equipment. That does not work. So we'd rather over-prepare than under-prepare.
Cuomo is also urging New Yorkers to stay off the roads while the snow falls tonight. In New Jersey, Governor Phil Murphy declaring a state of emergency before the snow started falling. This allows resources to be deployed throughout the state during the storm. Transportation officials say more than 2,500 plows and spreaders will be out. State police are also activating an emergency operations center. Days after 2 Long Island Railroad trains struck a car at a crossing, killing 3 people, Senator Chuck Schumer is calling for a federal investigation. Now, he wants the feds to look into why the MTA is taking so long to install positive train control. Now, it's a train protection system designed to automatically stop a train before an accident occurs. Last week, the MTA said the installation hit a snag after equipment was recalled, jeopardizing the cost and completion of the work. The senator says that is not acceptable.
Cannot delay any longer. We cannot excuse. Lives are at risk. We've all seen how many people have died and been injured in these train crashes, which seem to occur with more frequency.
The MTA says it's monitoring the progress and will make sure the work is complete by the December 2020 deadline. New York Democratic lawmaker Jerrold Nadler says it's very clear President Donald Trump obstructed justice in the special counsel's probe, and he's willing to go after a handful of people, including the president's son, Donald Trump Jr., to prove it. Mike Sachs joining us now on how lawmakers will go after the closest to the commander-in-chief. Mike.
Yeah, they're going to go after him pretty aggressively, Reagan, actually. So on the heels of Michael Cohen's appearance before the House Oversight Committee, Nadler, who is the chair of the House Judiciary Committee, says Trump's officials, as well as the Trump Organization's inner circle, will be hearing from his committee as soon as tomorrow.
In his testimony last week, Michael Cohen implicated the president's son and the Trump Organization's CFO in the president's own allegedly bad, if not criminal, acts. And on ABC's This Week, House Judiciary Committee Chairman Jerrold Nadler said he wants to hear from them and many, many more.
We will be issuing document requests to over 60 different people and individuals from the White House to the Department of Justice, Donald Trump Jr., Allen Weisselberg, to begin the investigations, to present the case to American people about obstruction of justice, corruption, and abuse of power.
Michael Cohen's not finished on Capitol Hill either. He's set to return to the House Intelligence Committee on Wednesday to continue his closed-door testimony about the president's Russian business contacts. To all this, the president tweeted, quote, "For the Democrats to interview in open hearings a convicted liar and fraudster at the same time as the very important nuclear summit with North Korea is perhaps a new low in American politics and may have contributed to the walk. Never done when a president is overseas. Shame. And on CBS's Face the Nation, the president's national security advisor, John Bolton, defended Trump's decision to walk away from the latest round of talks with North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un.
It was the sanctions that brought the North Koreans to the table. It's the sanctions they want relief from, and relief they can get if they denuclearize.
But on Fox News Sunday, Bolton had a harder time defending his boss's acceptance of Kim's word on American student Otto Warmbier's death in North Korean custody.
I'm going to take him at his word. It doesn't mean that he accepts it as reality. It means that he accepts that's what Kim Jong-un said.
So when he says I take him at his word, it doesn't mean that he believes Kim Jong-un?
Well, that's what he said. I think one way to prove that is to give the United States a complete accounting.
But for now, it's unclear when, if at all, North Korea would give the United States such a complete accounting, whether over Warmbier's death or the country's nuclear weapons program. Reagan?
Thank you very much, Mike. Now, the U.S. Senate seems to have enough votes to reject President Trump's declaration of a national emergency along the U.S.-Mexico border. Republican Senator Rand Paul of Kentucky now saying he can't go along with Trump's declaration since funding for a border wall was not appropriated by Congress. 3 other GOP senators have also rejected the president's move, giving opponents a 51-vote majority. The House has already voted against the action. If the Senate follows, President Trump says he will veto the measure. The Staten Island Borough president sitting out of the annual St. Patrick's Day parade today, citing a lack of inclusion. As Dana Arshan explains, it's the only parade in New York City that prohibits LGBT groups from marching under their own banner.
It's a parade that showcases and celebrates Irish culture.
It's a great day for Staten Island to have fun, to celebrate being Irish and just having a good time.
But this year, a lot of residents living in the borough feel this event has been tainted.
It's discrimination for sure. It's every emotion. It's frustrating. You go through waves of anger.
Carol Bullock says she's deeply offended that the organizers of this Staten Island St. Patrick's Parade refused to let her LGBTQ group march and hold a banner for the event.
I was told that they took a vote and the answer was no, we were not able to apply because we go against the tenets of the Catholic Church.
We approached parade organizers along the route who told us they had no comment. Steve Schwal, walking in the middle here, is the president of a local chapter of the Ancient Order of Hibernians. That's the organization with a committee that put on this parade. Schwal was not part of that specific committee, but said this to us.
I am a member of a very good organization that is, and what we discuss in our meetings, we're sworn to secrecy. So at this point, we cannot talk about it.
Still up and down Forest Avenue in West Brighton, parade goers proudly waved their LGBTQ flags.
I thought it was disappointing because it's 2019, so we should just be inclusive.
Staten Island Congressman Max Rose skipped out on the event. So did Borough President Jimmy Otto. On Twitter, Otto wrote in part, "I hope for a good parade this year and will work towards a truly joyous, inclusive one in 2020 and beyond."
What would Jesus do? He was a very welcoming Christian man. That's how we all started. So although I respect the churches and the parade's decision, I would have liked to see it be a little bit more inclusive.
In the West Brighton section of Staten Island, Dana Arshan, Fox 5 News.
Over in Queens, a more inclusive parade. The 20th annual St. Pat's for All parade celebrates the diversity of Irish and Irish American communities in the city. Elected officials and more than 100 groups, including LGBTQ community groups, took part marching from 43rd Street in Sunnyside to 58th Street and Woodside Avenue. The grand marshals were actress Fionnuala Flanagan and dancer choreographer Sean Curran. Tragedy in Queens. The FDNY trying to figure out what caused a house fire that killed a young boy. The fire started on the second floor of a home on 160th Street in Springfield Gardens around 2:30 this morning. It was under control in about an hour. Officials say 8-year-old Tigani Jones was killed. 6 others suffered minor injuries. The NYPD is investigating the murder of an Uber driver in the Bronx. Police want to question the man in this surveillance video that you see. Look very closely. Investigators say 20 27-year-old Gani Gandunu was found stabbed to death in his car on the Hutchinson River Parkway near Co-op City at about 9 last night. Now, it's not clear if he was working at the time. A group representing for-hire drivers is offering a $3,000 reward for information leading to an arrest. Could Fortnite be decrowned? The new craze taking over the gaming world. Plus, cycling for a cure. A Long Island mom is turning her daughter's cancer diagnosis into a way to help others. And here's Tina.
Hey there, Reagan. Tonight on Sports Extra, presented by Toyota, my sit-down with Mets general manager Brodie Van Wagenen. He gives us a lot of insight into his philosophy, plus the Jacob deGrom negotiations. And Knicks living legend, Earl the Pearl Monroe, joins me in studio to chat about his updated autobiography and how winning the championship with the Knicks was sweet redemption.
Fox 5 News brought to you by Nissan. Shop ChooseNissan.com.
Sarah's last tuition payment sent off. Feeling good?
Oh, yeah. Now I'm ready to focus on my project.
This is why we plan. Oof. You never cease to amaze me, man.
See how investing with a JP Morgan advisor can help you. Visit your local Chase branch.
Good Day New York, where celebrities come to talk.
When you can make a living doing what you love, you won. It's a blessing.
We have to find the flaws in the good guys, and we have to find something almost likable sometimes in the bad guys.
Typically, you think of Sports Illustrated, you think of an exotic beach location, and I was in Brooklyn at a studio.
Join Rosanna and Lori at 7 a.m., right after Sukanya and Jen.
How do you gauge the greatness of an SUV? Is it to carry cargo or to carry on a legacy? Its show of strength or its sign of intelligence? In crossing harsh terrain or breaking new ground? And to do these things once or 7 times over. This is the Mercedes-Benz SUV family. Get the 2019 GLC starting at $40,700. Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing.
Sandals Montego Bay, Jamaica's hottest and newest all-inclusive resort. Call 1-800-SANDALS.
Be amazed. Be inspired. Experience a divine culture.
I'm shocked. I can't praise this show enough.
How many things do you see in life that touch you and make you that hopeful?
I'm incredibly inspired after coming tonight.
Yeah. See it 100 more times.
Coming to Lincoln Center, David Koch Theater, March 6th through 17th. Buy tickets now at shenyun.com/NY.
You're watching Fox 5 News at 10.
Fortnite has taken over the video game world. Now, it's been untouchable for more than a year, but a new game could threaten its reign. Matt King shows us the new multiplayer showdown gamers just can't get enough of.
Oh, no, that's a slide.
Tom's Guide and Laptop Mag managing editor Michael Andronico survived for a solid 3 minutes in his Fox 5 demonstration of the newest free battle royale game, Apex Legends.
You've got 60 players dropping onto an island, competing to be the last people surviving.
If that premise sounds familiar, it's because you, viewer, are at least loosely familiar with the most popular video game on the planet, maybe ever. Released not even 2 years ago, Fortnite boasts around 125 million players and earned an estimated nearly $2.5 billion last year.
Nothing has really risen to the level to be a serious threat to Fortnite.
Until, perhaps, the release of Apex Legends earlier this month. Completely team-based with